Dave Nutting and Linda Lawrence. Linda Lawrence had to go out to her car to get her glasses, though. So she'll be right back.
Okay.
We have a hard time hearing you a little bit. I don't know, can public access hear, Lisa? No, yes, you can. Okay.
You can, okay. So, so that said, we've got a quorum of members present, and we'll indicate that Nutting, Lawrence, and Smith are in the chamber.
Smith is not here.
Oh, Smith is not.
He's absent, I believe.
Okay. All right, so we'll mark Smith as absent, so we have 4 members present. We'll skip him calling the roll then. Okay, so with that, the first item on our agenda tonight is, and I guess just a reminder, a housekeeping item, for anyone that's in on WebEx, make sure your mics are muted unless you're speaking. We get a lot less feedback than back through the loop, for you and for everyone else that's trying to watch. So the first item on our agenda tonight is the approval of the minutes of our previous meeting.
I don't believe the minutes are there. I think the minutes, I did not get the minutes completed, so you probably did not have any in your packet.
Okay, thank you for that, Mary. Okay, so with that, the minutes of 3:24 not being ready, we'll pull item number 1, and we will not approve minutes tonight. We'll move to item number 2. Now, do we have any attendees with mics open in the chamber, perhaps? That are not other than Leslie and myself?
This one's on.
We're
Do you
getting a
want
fair
them
amount
on
of
or do you
feedback.
want them off?
Okay, I'm just curious because we're getting some feedback, so, okay. That said, item number 2 is discussion and possible action regarding the 2019 carryover resolution amendments or adjustments. And you'll see, according to the meeting packets, obviously every year we have carryover resolution adjustments, typically for projects previously approved or not yet completed, or for work in progress that's not yet completed. Also, there are times where we take carryover funding and attempt to accomplish additional work from our list of improvements. So, Marianne, if you want to walk us through item number 2 for folks at home that are watching.
Sure. At the last meeting, I had provided a listing of the carryovers that you're speaking of, and those are actually on the council agenda for consideration tonight. After the finance meeting last time, it was brought to my attention that I had omitted the fire department's request. They had submitted it to me back mid-December of 2019, and I had forgotten to add it to the list. So I proposed to add those. They're all relatively small dollar amounts, but crucial to the fire department. One of them is they had a budget in 2019 for turnout gear, and they did purchase turnout gear, but they had money left because of, I believe, some vacancies in positions, so they would like to be able to finish purchasing those in 2020 with the funds that they have left, which is $6,819. Another line item has $4,063 left, and their intention was to purchase a medication supply vending machine to control supplies that are used for EMS. And then the final carryover is $5,000, and the fire department had a special projects line item, and that was to obtain accreditation for the department, and they were not able to accomplish that in 2019, so they'd like to carry those forward. And then also in this memo and attachments, when we were looking at creating the 2020 budget, I pointed out that one of the challenges, the budget is easiest to manage when costs remain relatively stable. And the elections budget is not one of those costs because, for example, in 2019, we had 2 very small elections. So the costs associated with administering 2 small elections is a small dollar amount. This year, in 2020, we have 5 large elections. So you can see that we have to try to meet those fluctuations. So I had proposed in the 2020, I'd gone back 5 years and looked at what
Correct.
our average is
So with
over.
that, committee members, do you have any questions for Mary Ann on any of the carryover items? If not, do we have a motion to approve the carryover items?
I'll move to approve, Lawrence.
We have a motion by Lawrence, is there a second?
Second by Nutting.
Okay, second by Nutting. Further discussion or questions? Seeing none, members in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Do we need a roll
Aye as
call?
well, and that item passes 4-0. Members opposed? Hearing no members opposed, the item passes 4-0. Item number 3, discussion and possible action regarding safer at home parking refunds for downtown March and April parking permit fees. This is another measure that would help our downtown business owners and stakeholders while employees are not using the ramps and not able to park in them based on work from home orders. Mary Ann, do you have any additional on this item for the committee?
I don't.
Okay. Does any committee member have questions for Mary Ann on the item? If not, is there a motion to approve the item?
So move, Martins.
Motion by Martins, is there a second?
Second by Nutting.
Second by Nutting. Further discussion or questions? Seeing none, members in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Oh, I'm sorry, I should be calling the roll, shouldn't I? I keep forgetting we're on virtual. Let me call the roll. Lawrence? Martins?
Aye.
Nutting?
Aye.
I'll vote aye as well. Item passes 4-0. Okay. With that is item number 4, discussion and possible action regarding an update on police department radio purchase. You've got some information in your packets on these. I believe these are the radios to be added to new squad cars that are coming shortly for delivery that were recently ordered. We've had some discussion back and forth on this purchase, and I think that our outcome between the motor pool and the PD is that going forward, we will recognize the purchase of the mobile radio as part of the unit of an outfitted car, just like we recognize the cot as part of an ambulance. When we outfit police cars, we want to have all the equipment that's necessary to make them work, all at the same time, included in the price of a finished car. So this one wasn't that way. And so you have in your packet a request to purchase those items under a contract where we can obtain special government pricing. And so this item, we had deferred action on requesting an RFP, but given the fact that we're able to obtain special pricing on them under a purchasing consortium, that does waive off the requirement for RFP.
Lisa,
does anyone have
Linda,
questions on-
can I move to approve? Because it's my last night.
Certainly. Okay, so we have a motion from Lawrence. Do we have a second?
We have a second by Nutting and a question.
Second by Nutting. Go ahead with your question.
So are these replacing vehicles that have been in service, and are radios coming out of the older vehicles and being transferred into new vehicles? And this question I can pose to Mr. Lindman.
Yeah, so we are replacing 6 of the squads, the marked squad cars. Currently, they are using the Tate radios that are in the existing cars, and they've been having issues, not only the operation of them, but also our maintenance people with the maintaining them. So they want to switch over to the Motorola. So the new 6 cars will be outfitted with the Motorola radios.
That's simple. That answers the question because we're moving away from Tate. Yes, thank you very much.
So with that, with a motion and a second on the floor, seeing no additional questions, we'll call the roll for approval. Lawrence?
Aye.
Martins?
Aye.
Nutting?
Aye.
I'll vote aye as well. That item passes 4-0. Item number 5 is discussion and possible action regarding Great Lakes Cheese demolition project budget modification. And you've got some information in your packets on that item with regard to demolition of the old Great Lakes Cheese building, which we now own. Mary Ann or Eric, do you have additional information for the committee on this one?
No, I believe this is on council for tonight too, is it?
I believe so.
Yeah, it is. So basically, we had bid this out once before, and work had started. And unfortunately, we had to terminate the contract due to the passing of the owner and the sole proprietor of the business. So we placed the balance of the unfinished demolition work out for bid, and we received new bids, and there was not sufficient funds left from the previous project to fund the low bid from the new bids. And we would need an additional $54,500, which includes a $20,000 contingency, just because I think Director of Public Works felt that, there could still be some asbestos or unknowns that we would bump into as the demolition proceeded. So this budget modification would allow us to enter into the contract with the low bidder and complete that project.
And then recognizing that with the contingency, if it's not necessary and they don't run into any of those hurdles, we just would not spend that money and that would go back to the TID?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Committee members, any questions for Mary Ann on the item?
I got a question, Mark.
Go ahead, Michael.
Okay, in reading this demolition agreement and whatnot, the previous agreement we had with the previous vendor we had, they were gonna be salvaging a significant part of the building. Is there any provision for salvage in this new agreement, or is that something that's going by the wayside, or everything salvageable was done by the previous vendor, or what?
Thank you for that question, Mr. Martins. If you will note, the other contract was kind of strangely worded. It actually was for a much higher amount, but we anticipated that our final obligation would be reduced by the amount of $96,000 because we were going to get credit for what he salvaged. I believe all that was left was pallet racking, correct, Eric? So there wasn't much left to salvage. Unfortunately, he didn't keep great records. We figure we got about the amount of work out of him that we paid out. It's just there wasn't enough left in the budget. But no, we left out the salvageable component because he salvaged most everything of any value in the building already. So this is just an outright commitment to pay a certain amount to the low bidder. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that answers my question, thank you.
Okay. With that, do we have a motion from the Finance Committee to approve the item?
Make that motion, Nutting?
We have a motion from Nutting. Is there a second?
Second by Lawrence.
You have to click your mic.
Second by Lawrence.
Okay, yep, motion by Nutting, second by Lawrence. Further discussion or questions? Seeing none, we'll call the roll for the vote. Lawrence?
Aye.
Martins?
Aye.
Nutting?
Aye.
I'll vote aye as well. That item will carry 4-0. Item number 6, and this is our last item, is discussion and possible action regarding the Wisconsin DNR Railroad Corridor and Riverside Park additional environmental testing and related budget modification. I think that this is something that we've been working with for a while. We know that there is wide public interest in additional testing in this area. We have in the packets some information from Eric about a way that we can accomplish that testing and at a reasonable cost. We've already received a communication from one of our peers on the Park Committee, hoping that we will view this resolution favorably because this will put the additional testing matter to rest in connection with these areas of concern. Anything for the committee on this item beyond what's in the packets, Mary Ann or Eric?
Nope.
Okay. Committee members, do we have a motion to approve the item?
Motion by Lawrence.
We have a motion by Lawrence. Do we have a second?
Second by Nutting, please.
Second by Nutting. Further discussion or questions?
So just for clarification, we would fund this out of tax increment District Number 6, and our budget policy allows the Finance Committee to do capital amendments without council approval under 20,000, so it would fall below that. So we would believe that we have if this is approved tonight at Finance, that we could go forward and enter into the contract without waiting for council approval.
Correct, and then as soon as the environmental conditions allow and access to the sites available, they can go ahead
Yep.
and move the item forward. With a motion and a second on the floor, we'll call the roll for the vote. Lawrence?
Aye.
Martins?
Aye.
Nutting?
Aye.
I'll vote aye as well, and that item will also pass 4-0. That is the last item on our agenda for tonight, so what we'll do is we'll adjourn finance. We've made one very long WebEx meeting on the city calendar for this purpose. So what you can do is we'll adjourn. If you want to stay logged into WebEx and just mute your mics. The council meeting will not start until 6:30, but it'll start under the same WebEx index. So you can either go out and rejoin, or you can stay on with the muted mic. And then the council meeting will begin at 6:30 on the same WebEx column. With that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion by Lawrence.
Motion
Second.
by Lawrence, is there a second?
Second by Nutting.
Second by Nutting. Members, we're gonna call the roll. I gotta get used to this virtual stuff. Lawrence,
Aye.
Martins,
Aye.
Nutting,
Aye.
I'll vote aye as well, and we'll stand adjourned until 6:30, and then council will begin at that time. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.